The Grapes of Wrath, written by John Steinbeck. John Steinbeck, the author of this beautiful novel, was born in Salinas, California on February 27, 1902. He began writing novels in 1929. In 1930, he wrote a trio of novels focused on migrant workers in California, about human struggles and real experiences. One of them is In the Bus Bottle, published in 1936. The second one is Of Mice and Men, published in 1937. With this novel, he became a celebrity. And then he wrote The Grapes of Wrath, that was published in 1939. It is known as his masterpiece, and this is the novel that we are going to talk about. The novel was written by the mid-term of 1930s, when a terrible drought ruined the southwestern states of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Kansas. These states were named the Dust Bowl. At the same time, Wall Street crashed and the United States got into the Great Economic Depression. Unable to pay their mortgages or invest in the kind of new industrial equipment and now necessitated by commercial competition, many Dust Bowl farmers were forced to leave their land, headed to California looking for better conditions. There, in California, they found poverty, overpopulation, and food scarce, and the families went into a new type of life. One of these families is the Youde family, and the novel relates to the rough lifestyle change. Tom Youde is the protagonist. He is in parole after serving 4 years of prison. His character is strong, principled, and observant of the law. The authorities engage with him oppression and exploitation, as they did with all migrants, and a clearly feature from the epoch. Jim Casey is an expression, close friend of Youde's. He follows the family in their journey to California. He self-sacrificed for others' common good, teaches and inspires Tom all times. By Youde, the head of the Youde family, is a good worker. He gives everything for his. He represents the loss of human dignity. He can't sustain his family anymore. Ma Youde is the sustain of the family. She holds it together. She gives them strength in the difficult moments they pass through. She takes her strength out from love. Noah Youde is the eldest brother, but he is slow and quiet. Al Youde is the teenager interested in girls and cars all the time. Rudy and Winfield are the youngest children. They do not understand anything about, but they are having fun. Grandma and Grandpa and Uncle John are also part of the family. Grandpa, senile, he needs people to make things. Grandma, deaf, takes care of her husband. She's always arguing with him. Rose of Sharon Youde, Rose Sharon, and her husband goes to California dreaming in their new life. She thinks everything happens because of the baby she loses. She offers her milk to a poor in a humanity act. The novel is plain of symbols. For example, when the preacher lost the call, he represents the hopeless of poor people when they lost things, but they still have new hope in the new journey. When Mom asked Tom, "Did they hurt you?" asking if the government corrupt him, his heart, his belief, as a criticism to institutions' oppression. When they talk about poor and lonely people, we can see that in the movie Views, when they show the drought, hopeless, and emotions from a socialist point of view. When Ma and Toad Joes are seen as little people, impoverished and dispossessed, they also represent how industrialization came over the farmers. Grandma is a clear symbol of how humans find strength by being together. The family is supported by Ma Joe at all times. There's a turtle in their driveway. It represents that some things arrive slowly, they remain, and the change is a continuum that comes step by step. They're buying a car, they are showing us the urgency to get into the industrialization. When children are now in the bathrooms, they are telling us how to get into the changes, and that those changes are for youngers. When grandma died, she's leaving all things and getting into the new ones. Clearly, the movie shows the ending of the farmers and of a period. Danny wants a cup of water. It shows the drought of the land and that the water is a living source and the change key. Living is beautiful but cruel. The fate remains forever. This is stated in the novel. These are some of the many modern literary characteristics the novel has. It is a typical topic from the epoch, the American dream, the family travel to California looking up for the dreamland. It is written in a clear and simple style. The author's writing is plain of simple dialogue. Everyone is chasing a dream in a real representation. The novel is full of description of the events and characters in terms and conditions of the time. The whole family is a description of how real people lived at that time. It represents periods change, getting into a new century, getting into the industrialization. As a conclusion, we can state that this novel is a clear representation of the modern characteristics. Even though the families from that time knew that probably they could not find better conditions in California, they conserve in their hearts the American dream. They work and remain together trying to achieve it. Definitely, this novel is a piece of art that clearly represents the social, economical, and political real facts from the time with a simple and fluent. Thank you so much for seeing.